Alright, after about half an hour of struggling, our transmission has made it up, and it's awesome. I've already put a couple of the big bolts in, torqued those down, and attached the slave cylinder to our new shift fork right here. So I want to see, did the clutch action improve? That's the question. That's why we're doing all this work. Moment of truth. Let's try the clutch pedal. Oh yeah. Fantastic. That's literally, I'd say 30% of the force that was required before. Before it was, I mean, things were straining, you could hear it creaking. Not a good situation. Now, butter smooth. I am very, very excited to drive this car again. It's been neglected for too long, but I think we're gonna be back in business real soon. So the XL7 is coming together very nicely. The transmission is at least back in its happy spot. We got the cross member under there, so no more jacks. And I'm still waiting on exhaust manifold Y pipe gaskets. These things, obviously these are wasted, and I looked it up on Rock Auto and I ordered like the triangle ones instead of the circle ones. So apparently they changed the design through the model year, it wasn't listed right. Whatever. Gotta get some new gaskets. So we're gonna leave the drive shaft and the exhaust off for now. And let's reassemble the interior. Oh, before I forget, I just want to say thank you to the guy who sent me these extra long 1/2-inch extensions. Without these, getting those top 2 main bolts out on the transmission would not have been fun. And I've used these on a couple of clutch jobs already, so really, really handy to have. So thank you for sending me those last year. Alrighty, let's get situated and put all this stuff back together. So first let's reinstall the shift lever. And the grease on here, some of it's a little dry. I guess we could clean off the remains, but I don't see that as a big deal at all. I just want to slap it back together. Most of this stuff is just old grease, but there's some fresh grease right here, so we can take some from there, smear it over the ball, make it nice and distributed. And as long as we don't have any chunks, should be good to go. So this is gonna go like so, I believe. And the let's see here. There's like locator bolts on the sides. As long as our ball's in the right place, right around there. So that's neutral. So this spring-loaded thing will just press down. You can't see it, but just like we took it off. So press down and then that's it, locked in. Make sure that works. Now let's get this boot and this clamp ring on. So I didn't actually uncrimp the clamp ring. It's kind of like a mini CV joint ring. So what I want to do is first get the boot in the right place. This thing's a little annoying, but I don't want to like tear it. I think that should do it. And this isn't as critical as a CV boot. It's just like a dust cover. So boot's staying on there. sweet. Push down just a tad more. I like it. Now this guy. You can definitely go by the marks of where the bolts were and where this bracket was. See, it's all nice and clean up here. So this goes under the second metal bracket, like so. Just have to align the holes just right. Pretty much perfect. Like that. And now our bolts, they're a little rusty coming out. And what I've been doing is, fluid film is fine, but anti-seize lasts forever. And these Denso packets last forever. I've assembled so far the whole car with half a packet of anti-seize. I mean, you just spread some on the threads, and when the screw goes in, it'll go in so much nicer. There you go. You got 4 of these. So this comes with 1 oxygen sensor, and it's enough to put together a whole car. Amazing. It just keeps on coming. It's like the gift that keeps on giving, right? Last but not least, it's like, that tube of toothpaste that you think you're gonna run out, but it keeps on going for like another 2 weeks. It's kind of like this anti-seize. So we need a number 12 socket, I believe. Go back and forth a couple times and leave them a little loose so everything can settle before giving it the final torque down. Now again, start them by hand if possible. See how the rust coming out? Yup. Just cleaned its own hole. I guess you could take a tap and clean all the holes out, but just want to get these back together. I'd say that's good enough. Don't want to bend anything. Sweet. Oh, what's next? These little wires, they can clip into their home. I think they went on the outside. Or should we put them on the inside? I don't know why this big thing is there, but it is. That's there. And this, I don't even have this accessory, it just like plugs into a blank in the console. Next, we have the same thing for the transfer case. So this thing is already very well greased. Turn you guys around a little bit. Going right into here, and the screw hole is towards the back. Is the parking brake in the way? Again, that's in, so push it in. Yes, got it. Flip the boot back. You can even shift it into a uh-oh. Why is the transfer case locked up? What did I do? Oh man, that was a tough one to figure out. So apparently you're not supposed to take out the shift lever when you're in neutral or 4 low. When I was trying to align the spline shaft, I put it in a certain position, turned the drive shaft, but then I took it out when it was stuck here. So basically, if you see where this little flat part goes in, there's another spring-loaded part against the side. So if you're in, I'm going to do it again, neutral or 4 low like this, and you take it out like I did, you're going to be stuck there, and then if you try to put it back this way, dead in the water. So you actually have to put it back here and then spread that little spring-loaded part while jamming it in. So not the best scenario here. It's my fault. My fault. Can't blame the car. Didn't follow instructions. But there. That's 4 low. That's neutral. That's 4 high. And 2-wheel drive high. So if we're in 4 low, we can put on our boot. No problems. Alright, wrapping up the XL7 clutch project. I got to put this exhaust back on. And I purchased a whole variety of gaskets here. I got 3 from the auto parts store, and then 3 from Rock Auto. This green type, I think this is the original, closer to the original, so we'll try these guys out. But we need to do some prep work. These flanges, they're a little rusty, and if you take the gasket off, you'll see that there's kind of chunks. It's uneven, so I want the gasket surface to be really clean before we put it on. At least get the big chunks off. So I take a little baby air hammer and just gently tap the flange to make sure all these chunks nothing crazy, just a little tap. Especially these corners. So the gasket sealing surface is nice and smooth. And then make sure our gasket fits. Oh yeah, that should be a nice seal. Once we tighten it down, squish it down, torque it to spec. That's very similar to the original gasket. You can see it's that multi-layer, whatever they use in here, sealing compound. It'll just squish down nicely. Now I want to get the welder out and fix this up a little bit before the flange completely disintegrates. I mean, this stuff is just I basically want to weld around here. So if we ever have to take this thing apart, we can just, I mean, not with a bolt to the flange, but this gap that I cut or was there to begin with, just want to reinforce it. Just build up some metal on here so we can make it last a little longer. So that's what we're going to do. And then last bit here is this hanger. I want to weld this back onto the cat so the cat doesn't shake around too much and cause like a crack in the exhaust manifold. This is here for a reason. Remember, we took this off and just kind of bent it and broke it off, so I want to re-weld this and should be good to go. So welding to rust is not ideal, but the flange is at least somewhat reinforced and should be better than it was before. Well, I think that'll do it for now. We'll see how it holds up. So the flanges. Also got to clean this little guy off. Remains of the gasket. Then all we got to do is weld that piece, put it back together. Well, I briefly reconnected the battery and so right now it's in 4-wheel drive. Where's my oil pressure light? Good old-fashioned rodent damage. All right. So the sheath is barely hanging on, but this wire is. I might as well take it out before I lose it. Boom. That's very nice. Man, cars that sit just cost you money, right? Alright, moment of truth. She's all back together. Everything's hooked up, batteries in, exhaust, drive shafts, the whole bit. It's fired up. And the last thing we have to do is adjust the clutch pedal. So let's see where on the stroke it engages. Oh man, this is gonna feel amazing to drive this car again. Alright, where's my exhaust leak? Oh yeah. I forgot to put the oxygen sensors back in, the downstreams. I knew there was something I forgot. Alright, now we're ready. Oxygen sensors are in. Ah, much better. Clutch in. Gears shift fine. Now, let's see when it starts engaging. About halfway. I had the parking brake on. Excellent. So let's readjust that brake pedal, or the clutch pedal, take out those extra spacers, put the rod to the middle, and see if that finishes the job. So I got the little adjuster off, unscrew it from the rod that goes to the master cylinder. I'll show you what I did before, quite a long time ago, to extend the length of this rod. So this little thing is just crimped in here. This little guy, this comes out, and then I stacked a whole bunch of washers in here to extend the length of the travel. Oh man, a whole bunch of them. I don't remember if there was anything else in here. Some kind of rubber damper or something. Maybe I'll just take some washers out and leave it in there and crimp it tight. So I think there was some little rubber piece in there. Might be on the shelf. Alright, well, I took 2 washers out just so we can crimp this thing properly, and then we'll screw the rod back in as far as it wants to go. I think we're in pretty good shape here. It'll never come apart ever again. Alright, I like it. Now, let's go put this thing back on the car. Alright, pedal height is adjusted. It's level with the brake pedal now. I can even push it with my hand. I've never been able to do that before. We also have to adjust the, I guess, the cruise control cancel button. See that guy right there? It's depressed when the clutch is released. And I think that should do it. Let's just start it up again, make sure we're engaging gears just fine. Beautiful. So it's starting to engage about an inch from the floor. You see the rear wheels start to turn right about there. Awesome. Let's take it for a spin. Alright, here we go. First gear. Oh man, it's super smooth. Awesome. Smooth as butter. I like it. Woohoo! Feels like a brand new truck. See, downshift. Excellent. clutch has never ever even felt even close to this easy and light. I'm amazed. I should have done this like 80,000 miles ago. But hey, now the XL7 is back on the road and we can take it to Staten Island. So Keith, we're ready. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Keep the old cars on the road and see you next time. Bye-bye.